This is the last transmission of a radio station in history. It was broadcasting mysterious messages for 24 hours before its owner died under suspicious circumstances. Is there a connection? You decide. All around the world, millions of people tune into their favorite radio stations every day. For some, it's music. For others, it's the news. And for some, it's just white noise that they use to mask the silence of being alone. But what if the white noise wasn't just noise at all? What if it was trying to tell you something? Like maybe that your life was in danger? Well, believe it or not, this actually happened to one unlucky man who was driven to insanity by the creepy voice coming from his radio. Because they knew the broadcast wasn't coming from them. He agreed, thinking they finally believed him and were going to help. When he got there though, he was shocked to find the studio completely empty. John heard things like "prepare for death," "your time is running out," and "you can't hide." It seemed as if whatever was behind the broadcast wanted him dead. But why? John couldn't figure it out. When the authorities returned, they found John's body on the floor. He had been beaten to death. But whoever did this made sure to stage the scene. But one thing we know for sure is that the radio played a big part in this mystery. Here are some scary coincidences involving radios that may be connected to this case. This means you can potentially hear their conversations. Of course, unless you live near a police station, it's unlikely you'll pick up anything on these channels. Some believe that these are transmissions from aliens trying to communicate with us. After all, radio waves can travel across the universe. So it's theoretically possible that aliens could be using them to send messages. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, but it is possible, if you're close enough. Many conspiracy theorists believe that this is how they hear government secrets or hidden information that they're not supposed to know. Do you think the radio was sending John secret messages that led to his death? Or do you think someone was messing with him and took it too far? Either way, we may never know the truth, and that's what makes this case so mysterious. It looked like John had broken into Carl's house, attacked him, and stolen some equipment before dying. But the police knew something was off. Why would Carl have left his front door unlocked? Why would John attack Carl but leave the valuable equipment behind? And how could John have broken in without leaving any footprints or signs of forced entry? The evidence pointed to a setup. Someone killed John and made it look like a burglary gone wrong. But who? All the equipment was on, but there was no one there. As he looked around, he heard the radio, but that person never came forward. The case went cold, and Carl's fate remains unknown. Police suspected that he may have kidnapped John to get revenge for harassing him, but that theory fell apart when they searched his home and found nothing. The case remains unsolved to this day. The ominous music had stopped, but the voice was now saying, "Beware the night, tonight you die." John immediately got scared. Was whoever was behind this stalking him? Was this a prank that went too far? This might sound far-fetched, but there are countless stories of people hearing deceased loved ones through their radios. Some say it as just a trick of the radio picking up an AM broadcast that is interference from a different station. However, others believe it's the spirits of the dead contacting them from beyond the grave. To say John was freaked out would be an understatement. He locked all his doors, turned on every light, and stayed on the phone with a friend. But as midnight approached, he started hearing footsteps outside his window. He described it as someone walking back and forth directly outside his bedroom window, as if waiting for something. He continued to hear these footsteps every night for weeks. This whisper was stalking him like a predator. Every time he tried to escape it by switching stations, it followed him. On April 6, 1987, an American man named John Donati went about his daily routine in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He got up, ate breakfast, read the newspaper, and tuned in his favorite radio station, Wild 95. Then he turned off the radio to go to work as an electrical engineer. He put it back on when he got home and continued doing his routine until bed. On April 25, 1987, two men from the FCC showed up at John's house to check his radio equipment. They wanted to see if he was somehow broadcasting the message himself, but they found nothing. They traced the signal back to a small town 30 miles away, where a man named Carl Cahoon lived. Carl was a former rock DJ who had gotten in trouble with the FCC for broadcasting obscene material. He claimed he wasn't behind the mysterious broadcast and allowed authorities to search his home. They found nothing. John did the same thing the next day and the next until April 11, 1987. He noticed something strange. There was a new radio broadcast on the air. It was playing low-frequency sounds and whispering phrases that didn't make sense. John called the radio station and asked them what was going on. They told him they weren't playing anything, and that there was nothing on the air. They listened for themselves and confirmed it. The station wasn't playing anything, but John could clearly hear the whispers on his radio. He continued hearing the whispers even after he switched stations. Whatever this sound was, it seemed to be everywhere, so John kept switching stations until he heard only static, then went to bed. The next morning, John woke up early, turned on the radio and heard the whispers again. The more he listened, the more he realized the whispers were sending him a message. It said, "Beware the night. Beware the night." At first he thought nothing of it, but soon the message changed. Beware the night. Come nighttime, it will be too late. The radio was now playing ominous music and repeating the phrase over and over. At this point, John was getting scared. He contacted the radio station again, but they told him to stop bothering them. Then the phone rang. It was the radio station telling John to come down and listen to the broadcast with them. When the sun went down that night, he took precautions. As the days passed, the messages on the radio became more and more intense. Meanwhile, authorities were investigating the mysterious broadcasts, but while they were gone, the radio started broadcasting a chilling message. They're here for you. The end is near. Well, it might have been whoever was behind those mysterious broadcasts. Some think that Carl did it, while others think he was framed. Radios can pick up messages from beyond the grave. Radios can pick up police frequencies. If you tune your radio between 460 and 512 megahertz, you'll be in the range of police, fire, and ambulance channels. Radios can pick up alien transmissions. There are many reports of people hearing strange voices on their radios that seem to be from this world. Now it's time to make a decision. What do you think happened to John? Let me know your thoughts.